Morning. Morning. Welcome. Bloody welcome to the show, which is called
Sunday Chats.
That's right, with Richard and Paul. And remember, if you want it all, watch Richard and Paul. Such a good strapline. I should have been in marketing and advertising, really, I think, Paul.
Yeah.
Shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Instead
of me. Yes. Oh, I've come up with some really good straplines in my time.
Well,
yeah.
In your head, maybe.
Well, no, I thought I did really well with the Imaginator, the virtual reality ride at the Trocadero, with the Are You Ready? It was a R on a white letters, Are You on a black background, then a red E, then a white question mark, Are You Ready? And that worked really, really well because the target demographic for that was sort of under 24, and I think I was about 30 then, so I did quite well with that.
Until it closed.
Yeah, but it closed because of technical issues. It kept on having technical issues. That was such a shame.
It was quite fun. It was like these little pods and this huge screen.
They sat 4 people. There were 5 of them.
And the little pods moved about with the action on the screen.
Wrap around.
So it was really good fun. It was at the Trocadero, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Piccadilly Circus.
Which, of course, the Trocadero is nothing like it was then.
No. But it was evolving. It's always been evolving, the Trocadero. There were all sorts of things, really strange things to do, like go and record a music video.
And wasn't there was a paintball alien or something in the
Yeah,
basement?
there was like an alien paintball.
Yeah, God, honestly.
But things were evolving and society's tastes were changing rapidly with technology.
Yeah.
And marketing was all about cryptic stuff at that point, wasn't it?
It was.
You know, can you work out what this means? Blah, blah, blah. Because I think people were more intelligent back then in the dark ages.
I think possibly, yes. I think coincidentally, as well as coming up with these sort of cryptic things for some of the projects we were working on, I was also working on the cryptogram, David Mamet's The Cryptogram, with Eddie Izzard and, I can't remember.
Somebody else, yeah.
And that was a good logo as well that we did for that, yeah.
Anyway, before we start, I need to moisturise.
Vivi Balm.
Because I've forgotten to put my lip balm, my Vivi Balm on. And I do like luscious licky lips. Do you want luscious licky lips? I do. So I use Vivi Balm.
He licked her luscious...
No, he didn't lick anything, Paul. I think you'll find that's disgusting.
Yeah, there we are.
Who licked whose lips? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh,
exactly.
Paul, that's the
It's like
new
an
book.
Agatha Christie mystery.
Yes, and I tell you what's a mystery this morning. I'm really warm.
Are you?
Yeah, why? It's not that warm.
I think you've been rushing about doing your hair, haven't you?
Well, I have sprayed about 4 cans of Elnet on it this morning. Just to make it do what I wanted it to do. As I washed it yesterday, and you can never do anything with your hair when you've washed it, can you?
I've learned the difference between a cleansing shampoo and a general shampoo. And that a cleansing shampoo, like Tresemme Deep Cleansing, just strips everything out.
It does.
Where just a sort of general shampoo just gives it a clean. Because when I use my deep cleansing one, it sort of goes like that. Yeah. Does yours do that? Does yours go?
I have to tame mine with oils. Oils and plenty of Elnet. That's Elnet by L'Oreal. This is not a paid promotion.
Other brands are available, but they're not as good.
But I have to say Elnet is the best hairspray ever. And I've been using it for years. Years and years and years and years. It's been around for years. It's had the same logo for years.
I can remember that smell. When I used to go to the hairdresser with Mum, I usually got my hair cut first, and then I'd be reading a comic. Not books in those days, it was definitely a comic like the Beano or something like that. And I knew when Mum was coming to the end of her hair being done, because there'd be sort of like, the hairdresser would be going with hair spray all over her hair, and it was like going everywhere.
Well, it does.
Didn't it make the surfaces
Yeah,
sticky
it
or
does.
shellacky or something?
It does. If you've got to be careful with hairspray. You do.
And then I think a couple of years, maybe I was a few years older, then they brought in those face things that you held in front of your face whilst they sprayed that
used
to
my
keep
hand.
it away from your
I used
your
my
face.
hand.
Yeah.
But you're
Gosh,
breathing it
memories.
in. And also, of course, in those days, everybody was
Smoking. Yeah.
everybody was smoking.
Oh.
That was not a smoker's cough. By the way.
If you Elnet and flame, does that work?
Quite easily. You could kill a snake.
Oh dear.
Like they did in James Bond that time. Do you not remember?
Oh yes, they did. Didn't
Exactly,
They? Yeah.
Paul.
Yeah.
And you're the James Bond fan.
Yeah. I'm like, oh yeah. On Amazon now, I think they've got a whole lot again.
Oh, I can't be bothered with
We
that.
could watch right from the beginning.
Oh, they're so tacky, the James Bond
I
films.
love the tackiness of the early ones, and I love the speed and the excitement of the later ones.
I mean, the effects were just absolutely crap, weren't they?
They were, but now they're incredibly stunning. You know, it's quite funny, really. There we are. Barbara Broccoli. I worked on one of her
Barbara
shows.
Barbara Broccoli.
Oh, what was it?
I mean, broccoli as a name. I mean, nobody's called cauliflower, are they?
No, she was the daughter, and
Are people called cabbage and lettuce?
it was this show at the Piccadilly Theatre, and I think it opened and closed within a matter. Was it La Vie or something? It had a funny title and it closed very swiftly within 2 months, I think. Yeah.
Like many of the shows you've worked on, Paul.
Well, I've worked on Blood Brothers, and that is still going, and Joseph, and various different ones of An Ideal Husband.
So it wasn't your kiss of death then?
It wasn't me. But I have worked, and in fact, lost money on because they didn't pay me.
Oh, yeah.
The fastest closing West End show ever. It actually closed before its opening night. Yeah, there we are.
Was
called, what was it called?
I was there, Money to Burn.
Money to Burn. A title
Anyway,
so true to
let's
itself.
not give it any more traction.
Oh dear.
Anywho.
And Ant and Dec came to the opening night, and that was the first time I've seen them not as Ant and Dec, but as Dec and Ant. Because they always stand sort of like
Decant.
Decant. Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on. Let's get on with the show. We've got lots to get through. So we do apologise sincerely for the late running of this week's release. We know we normally release at midnight. Paul, don't you start. Don't start. Thank you. So
what?
I can't do anything without the book.
Shall I tell you what comes first?
No. So yes, sorry for the late start, because we do appreciate that many of you enjoy watching early in the morning.
In your morning, or your Saturday, actually, for some people, isn't it?
Yes, Saturday. Well, it's Saturday evening.
Yeah.
Sunday morning, really, because as soon as it's 12 a.m, it's Sunday morning, isn't it?
But when it's 12 a.m. here, it's actually only 7 o'clock in New York, and 6 o'clock and 5 o'clock in America.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know how these time zones work.
No, I don't think you do.
I find it all very confusing.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
There's only one time. That's universal time. Anyway, that was a bit deep for a Sunday morning. So, yes, weather. We always kick off, for those of you who are new to the channel, with Richard and Paul's weather report. Papa Poil, what is the weather in this week? Well, thank you for asking, Richard.
Go on, you're going to do it. You do it, go on.
Well,
you be me.
What I find fascinating, la fascination avec le temps, is, back to English, because I was ensconced in French then, is how the weather is so different across the country.
Oh yeah, it is at the moment, yeah.
So as you will be discovering shortly, we've been away. But the weather was dramatically different to what it's been down here in the south of England, as opposed to the north of Wales.
Yeah.
Dramatically different.
And Guernsey.
And Guernsey. Yeah.
Whilst we were in sort of warm clothes and waterproofs in Wales, my brother was in shorts and t-shirt working. So
and London was getting unseasonably warm weather, very humid and muggy, wasn't it? I mean, it's slightly sticky today, isn't it?
I think it's about 23, 24 degrees today.
Dew
and
later.
Yeah, and is very sunny. Very sunny at the moment.
Blue skies, beautiful morning.
It is an Indian summer, and you did say we would get an Indian summer, and I, with some chagrin, said, no, I don't think so. But I bow to your better knowledge of forward weather forecasting, Richard. So what's the winter going to be?
Very poor again. I have a feeling in my waters.
We were heading for a warmer one because the polar vortex was getting really, really strong, and when the polar vortex is really strong, it keeps the cold up there. But with El Nino being stronger as well, that's actually slowing down that polar vortex a bit, so it looks as though the cold is going to drop more.
I've just got a feeling we're going to have a cold December again, and if you remember, last December was cold. Very cold, and it was very cold in the house. Not this year. I'm not doing it again.
You're not doing it again? No.
I'm not. If I have to work all the hours God sends.
Well, you do, yeah. Saturday and Sunday, and we'll put extra days in as well.
To pay for it, I will, because I'm not going through that.
Yeah, been there, done that.
I'm not allowing the house to go through that as well, because, you know, the walls do need to warm up.
They do. So the weather now is warm, and it looks as though it's going to get quite a lot cooler going into late autumn and then cold into winter.
Well, I noticed that there's a drop in temperature predicted for next week.
Is there?
From 20-something down to 15, which we're really going to notice.
Yeah, yeah.
So there you go.
But the nights are cold. The nights are sort of around sort of 10 degrees.
Yes, I had to wear my hoodie last night on the sofa. Didn't I? What's
well,
funny about that?
Well, I don't think you needed to, no, but I think you did wear it. Yeah, I was in a t-shirt.
And I put the heating on for about 15 minutes this morning.
Oh, there we are.
Just to send a wave of gentle warmth through the house.
He was hoping that I'd shout down the stairs, is the heating on? And then he could go, yes, I'm putting it on. I'm working an extra hour.
I'm going to start ignoring you and that. I am.
You ignore me anyway.
Well, I know, but...
and then I secretly tiptoe down the stairs, making the sound of an elephant as I come down our stairs. And I turn the heating down a little bit.
I pretend to listen to you.
I know you do.
Just to keep the peace.
I know you do, yeah.
That's right, that's how relationships work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's true. So, anywho, Paul.
Where are we?
Let's move on with the show. So, as we mentioned earlier, we took some time off. In fact, we're still in our time off at the moment, aren't we, Paul? Don't look at the book. It's my book. More on notebooks later. I do love a notebook, don't you?
He does, yeah.
Don't you? This one's coming to the end. This one's been a marvellous one. It's packed full of Richard and Paul's secrets.
It'll just be a couple of weeks before his notebook can't go on.
Yeah, all right, it's a
literally.
Notebook. It's a notebook. Actually, I think you'll find.
Well, no, literally, it was a sort of play on words.
Oh, Paul, you're such a creative writer.
Oh, dear. I'll get my coffee.
So, we took a trip to where... Oh, coffee. I'm easily distracted, especially when there's caffeine involved. What was I saying? Yeah,
Wales.
That's it. We took a trip to Wales, to North Wales. We did, to visit some friends. You know which friends they are. Alexa, please, I'm talking. Stop. Honestly, rude. Yes, you know which friends we're talking about, Lord and Lady Tittington Smythe. Yes, and...
Do you need winding up today?
No, I keep forgetting my thread.
Oh, I never have a thread anyway.
No, I was thinking, do we cut straight to it? Is there anything more I need to say beforehand? Hold on.
We're taking you on a little trip to Wales with us. Yeah. Do we start in the car?
So, run VT, Paul. Hi, yes, you've guessed it, we're out and about again, out and about again in North Wales this time. A very wet North Wales, Paul.
Yeah, it's been wet, but we've had some time to get out where it's been in between showers, so that's been good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're having a lovely time. We're staying with our friends, Lord and Lady Tittington Smythe. As you've heard them mention before, we're at their country estate. Not really. We're in a secret location, though.
Yeah.
Not to be revealed. Near to the town of Dolgelly.
Yeah, which we...
Is that how you say it, Paul? Dolgelly.
Isn't it Dolgelly?
Yes, the unpronounceable towns of Wales.
We watched a TV show, haunted show, paranormal show that came from Dolgelly. It was filmed there years ago.
Really?
Yeah, we did.
I don't
Can't remember what it was.
I don't remember. But yes, lovely, lovely Wales, but it has been rather wet. As this area of the country is prone to being, so you can't let that put you off. You've got to get out and about and get wet if need be. Although, to be honest, I'd rather not. We're doing quite a bit of chilling out. We've done some nice cooking.
Reading.
So, yeah, it's been a lovely few days, and we had this planned for quite some time.
Yeah, yeah.
It just happened to sort of coincide with us going away to Guernsey and then having this break just afterwards, which was actually
came at the
quite
right
good.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We've taken a few bits of footage for you, not as much as we might normally because the weather's been so bad. It's difficult to film in bad weather because you risk getting the camera wet, which even though it's a weather sealed camera, I don't want to risk it. And also you get rain on the lens, which ruins the shot. So we've tried to take a few bits and pieces of footage from the beginning of the journey, right through to the end of the journey. So let's run VT and show you that now. Thank you. Run VT, Paul.
So we're on our way to Wales. We've just gone through a chalk cutting, and in maybe 100 yards we'll go over the Ridgeway, which goes all the way to Avebury. It's the most ancient walkway in the UK. Richard's driving.
Hi.
He's driving over
Hi.
there.
Did you turn your thing off?
And
Maps.
yeah, maps is off. Yes. Oh look, there's a zip car. Look. And it looks as though there's some brighter weather ahead. It's quite muggy at the moment, and there's quite a lot of cars and quite a lot of middle lane driving going on, which is really annoying because it just sort of slows down the whole lot of traffic, really.
So we've reached the Midlands. Paul's driving now. And it's been a good journey so far. We've been driving for almost 2 hours. We had a stop at Warwick. Had a bite on a bagel. And now we're changing onto a different motorway. We're going on to the M42, which will take us to the M6, and then we're aiming for the M54, which will take us into Shropshire, and then we will be be joining A and B roads to take us into Wales. We're on the next leg of our journey. We've joined the M6 motorway, one of Britain's busiest motorways, always full of lorries, always. And this is the Birmingham area. It's one of Britain's largest cities as well. We hit some traffic on the M42. Whoa. But we got through that. But it's very busy here. It's a city. It's a lot of people using the motorway to get from A to B in their local area. There you go. So we're in Wales finally, en route to our destination. It's been quite a wet journey through Shropshire. The rain's eased off now, but there's quite a lot of water on the roads. And the scenery, as you can see, has changed dramatically. We've got Welsh hills now. So we're on our way back to London now. We're driving back home. The sun is trying to get through, but as with most of this week, we've had rain and squally weather. Do you know which way you're going, Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Sheep.
Yeah, there's lots of sheep in Wales. Oh, I can't see them now.
Over here, look.
Yeah. There's actually a really big mountain behind there. You see, we're struggling to get up this hill. There's nothing behind us, which is okay.
Oh, look up there. Can you see that?
Well, you can sort of see the
Fly
misty.
over my window.
No, I can see, Paul.
It's lovely. I'm looking where I'm going though. Oh, madman.
There's an example of how not to ride a motorbike.
Overtaking as you get to a crest of a hill.
Yeah. But this is a huge, beautiful valley, but you really can't see any of it at all. But I'm glad we're going at a slow speed because these roads are a bit thrilling, let's call them that. But yeah, it's a shame we've got all this low cloud because this view is spectacular. But hey ho, c'est la vie, as the French say.
C'est la Wales.
Yeah.
We should learn that in Welsh.
Wales is...
Cymru?
Well, that's in Welsh, but not in...
Oh.
I do know the French for Wales, but I can't quite remember
sheep.
it. Oh, yeah, stay there, little sheepy, stay on the grass. But yeah, we are shrouded. You can see that we're going down now, and it's very steep.
And this is a big bend.
And very windy. I mean, even in the mist and the low cloud, it's very beautiful.
All that bracken. It's virtually sort of like rusty red, isn't it? It's fabulous.
Cheers. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning, just for reference. It's trying to brighten up down there. That's a really big mountain over there.
Straight ahead of us.
Straight ahead of us, yeah, but
The mountain is much, much higher than we
Oh,
are.
it's massive. Absolutely massive. You can just about see it, but... yeah. This is one section of the road that we call the Big Bend, and it's almost bordered by what look like sort of tropical rainforest. I mean, it's so lush, this section. There are actually rainforests in Wales, believe it or not. Celtic rainforests, they call them. That's the Big Bend. So we've come through the mountains, we're in the hilly areas now, and the rain has stopped, thank goodness. Oh, there's a place called Leighton there. Yeah, that really is a peak. Only in the countryside. So we're on the M6 now, just going back through Birmingham, and we had quite a few delays. We were stuck in traffic for about, 15 minutes. We were at a standstill, which was a pain in the backside. Oh, I've just noticed I'm filming at the same point as we filmed on the way here, Paul.
Yeah,
yes, with Ford Dunlop and the pylons.
Yeah,
Lots of pylons feeding electricity to the city.
Because there's a major grid back there.
There was a major grid back there. There's Ford Dunlop, just there. So yeah, it hasn't been the smoothest of journeys, but hey ho. That's Britain's motorway system for you. So we're now driving through Warwickshire, home of Shakespeare, and towns such as Coventry and Stratford-on-Avon. And the weather's rather beautiful now. Traffic is pretty good. This is the M40, always one of my favourite motorways, as it always seems a lot clearer than the others. But today has been relatively busy in terms of traffic and delays. Ha ha ha. So we will be stopping at the services shortly. And for those of you who don't know what the services are, they're kind of like the pit stop, the little pullover, the little lay-by, where you can have a pee and a drink and potentially a sandwich.
And fill up with fuel.
And fill up with fuel as well.
You need it, which we don't.
No, we're very good for fuel. So lovely. These are the Chilterns. That hill is one of the hills we walk on. And this is the sort of cut through that was built for the motorway. We walk up that hill as well.
We sit up there.
We do. There's a bench up there that you can't quite see from here. But as you can see, we're going through the hillside. And this is all chalk. Because the whole area is chalk. Finally off the motorway and back in Ealing, leafy Ealing. So that's a relief. We shall shortly be home and it'll be time to put a wash on.
Have a cup of tea.
Have a cup of tea. Yeah. So, without further ado, back to Sunday chat.
Sunday chat!
So there you have it. That's our little trip to Wales.
Yeah, little trip, but a lovely break, certainly.
Yeah, much needed break.
Bit of a recharge.
Absolutely. Good food, some good wine.
Some good laughs.
And good friends.
Yeah.
That's what you need from time to time. You need to get away and just enjoy life.
Yeah.
So, it's back to Sunday chat.
Sunday cat.
Back to the sofa in London.
Londinium.
London, Paul.
London.
So yes, we had a lovely time. It was a jolly nice break.
It was a bit damp.
Yeah, as you saw in the video. Lots of low cloud and rain, and very heavy rain one day.
Yes, very heavy.
Very heavy. So much so that Fenella sprung another leak.
Yes.
But that's another story.
Yeah. And very loud jets at one point.
Yeah, so the the training fighter jets, I think they are, they do this sort of
loop,
and they fly through the mountains. We had quite a few of those, which scared the life out of me at one point.
You were in the kitchen making tea,
Jeez,
weren't you?
It was so loud. I mean, we're used to the sound of loud planes, but it's the fact that the fighter jets you suddenly hear the noise. It's very sudden.
It's like a huge crack of thunder. I mean, an enormous crack of thunder.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it just continues and then rumbles on.
Well, essentially, the air is being ripped apart, isn't it? Basically.
It is, yeah.
As the jet passes through at high speed. But fun. Great fun.
Great fun.
Great fun. I mean, I was used to that as a child going on holiday to Anglesey, where there is RAF Valley, which was very close to the caravan site that we used to stay on, and we were regularly plagued by planes. And of course, as children, it's terribly exciting.
I think that's why your grandparents got the place there, wasn't it? It was like the excitement of the planes and the beach and all of that.
Well, Rosniger, which is where Shoreside Caravan Park is still, it's a hotspot for, sea sports and, all of those kind of things. And plenty of sand dunes and very large beaches. And Rosniger has a huge beach which stretches off into the distance.
When we went, we revisited it about, 10 or 15 years ago, didn't we? We went away for a few days and there was lots of kite surfing there, wasn't there?
Yeah. So, it's a typical seaside town with a few shops, a chippy, I think a Chinese takeaway, an Indian takeaway, typical. Yeah, and lovely, very nice. I'd happily go back to Rosniger. But yes, anyway. Anywho. So we visited Barmouth, one of our favourite places, and we had fish and chips.
Very high tide.
Very high tide, very windy, so we weren't really able to do any filming on the beach because of the sand was being whipped up, and cameras and camera lenses don't get on very well with blowing sand, really. So we did walk along some of the promenade, round the corner to the harbour, which you saw, and we visited one of our favourite little gift shops, Love It, at Barmouth. You're not going to believe what we saw. I've got to show you. And my friend Lady Tittington Smythe purchased this for me after we'd seen it. Should have taken it out of its box beforehand.
Unveiling.
I'll do a close-up because you won't be able to see it, but look at that. It's my catchphrase. Well, it's not my catchphrase, but CBA syndrome, can't be asked.
Yeah.
And actually inside it says, actually, can't be asked.
I rather like that.
But it's a beautiful mug with lovely gold detail. So thank you, Lady Tittington Smythe, my lovely gift. She'd purchased it before I had chance to say, I'm not sure whether I'll buy that or not. It was bought for me.
Yeah.
So that was lovely. And it's really nice texture as well.
They've got lovely things in that shop.
But it's hand wash only. So this will be used on rare occasions because I'd like to keep it nice looking.
Special occasions, maybe.
Special occasion. There we are. That's my new mug.
So we had fish and chips in Barmouth as well.
I hadn't finished, Paul.
No.
I hadn't finished. I also wanted to show you my notebook. I treated myself to a lovely, lovely illustrated journal, which I absolutely adore. So that's from Love It as well. Love It is a shop that sells gorgeous things, just gorgeous things. You could spend a fortune if you wanted to. This was a bit of a treat. It wasn't cheap. It's hardback and it's quite substantial.
Roger Laborde.
But I love it, and I love the
Illustrated
coloured pages. So this, again, I think will be a sort of special occasion notebook, journal. I love it. But before we go, I wanted to show you another notebook that I was recently gifted by Vivi, which I hadn't shown before, but I love this one. This is an Alice notebook.
Alice in Wonderland.
Alice in Wonderland. Well, there's only one Alice, isn't there, really? But it's...
Isn't it Alice in Resident Evil?
Well, based on
Yeah.
Alice in Wonderland, Paul.
Yeah.
It's lovely, and it's a moleskin notebook to carry around, so I'm delighted with that. Thank you, Vivi. Thank you.
And Vivi also gave me one as well, so that was nice.
Lovely. And I like the fact that this bit here, it suggested that you glue it together to make a bookmark, which I'm keeping because it has that beautiful illustration of the white rabbit.
Moleskin is lovely. They're well thought through products, and there's always a little bit of something like that suggestion for the bookmark. Yeah.
This is not a paid promotion.
No.
Other notebooks are available.
Yes.
While we're on the subject, le sujet de merci, the subject of thanks. Tried my best.
That was a good segue, yeah.
Coffee supporters, thank you for your continued support, all of you who support us on our coffee page. But this week we'd like to thank, in particular, Vicky for your very generous gift. Thank you. Very well received. In fact, quite timely, actually, because we have an issue with a piece of equipment which has become dangerous today. So we're risking life and limb at this moment in time with the studio light, which has had a problem with the wires. There's an exposed wire, so we can't touch it until we've switched it off. I noticed it when I put it up. We are going to have to buy a new studio light.
Yeah, we will do. It's the wires are in a place where it's really difficult to mend.
It's an old IKEA lamp, which I have put a studio light bulb into, which is an old style bulb as well, which is using quite a bit of energy. And there's a diffuser around it because, I had to make do. And it's worked fine for us up until today.
What happens if you take the diffuser off?
It would be very, very bright and very harsh light. The diffuser gives a lovely, flattering, soft light. And it's pointed at me.
It always is. Yeah, I always have this sort of halo of preciousness around me, like a little shadow, but it's actually my little halo. Yeah.
Anyway, so yes, Vicky, thank you so much, and also thank you to Karen, who also gave us a lovely gift as well. Thank you so much. Your support, all of your support from all of our supporters and all of our subscribers is very important to us. So thank you, bloody thank you.
Important and appreciated.
Very much appreciated. Thank you very much. So yes, all in all, it's been a lovely week. We mentioned fish and chips again.
Yeah.
Talking about eating stuff. Well, I mean, we have eaten quite a few things.
Oh, well, I did say when we were in Guernsey, I thought I put on 6 pounds. I put on 3. So that's not too bad, but I think I put on 3 pounds.
That's a bloody miracle.
Well, yeah, I think it's all gone here because I was looking at myself in a week at the plot when I was editing this morning. I thought, you're very jowly there. And then I looked back 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I think I looked back, and it was sort of slightly slimmer along here. So, yeah, but we're being good now, aren't we? Back to normal eating routine.
We've had a lot of toast. We've had quite a bit of bread. I mean, it was quite good bread. It was a grainy bread, which was lovely.
But toast, toast is so gorgeous, isn't it? Toast. Oh,
yeah.
Love toast.
Yeah.
And a good sandwich.
And
more on that later.
We had quite a bit of, more on what?
Sandwich.
Oh yeah, sandwiches, yeah. We had quite a bit of white bread as well. We had those white rolls on the way home. Oh
yeah, finger rolls.
They were on offer in the shop.
So we whenever we're travelling a distance, because it takes us about 4.5, 5 hours to get to Wales.
Well, 5.5 hours going.
And
coming back.
It was anyway traffic. Never mind. We always take either rice crackers with Marmite or sandwiches or something. And when we were shopping in the Co-op the other day, I saw these finger rolls that were down from £1.90 to 39p, and I thought, we'll get those, bung them in the freezer, get them out the morning that we want them, and so we had those.
We had those in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely. I mean, it saves going into the service station,
and buying a pre-packed sandwich.
Absolutely.
Which has been sat there for 4 days.
More on that later. I think it's longer than that possibly now as well. So yeah, more on that later. What's next?
A reminder that the new newsletter, the second edition of the newsletter, will be out shortly.
Yeah.
In the next few days. We've still got a little bit more work to do on that. And that, apologies again, that's been delayed because it's been busy.
Yeah.
We've been busy.
Unexpectedly busy. So yeah, things have.
Things are a little bit out of kilter at the moment, but we're hoping to get back in kilter.
I think we're
in the next week or so.
I think we're there. We're just sort of playing catch up with ourselves now because of what's gone on over the last 2-3 weeks. So yeah, I'm.
But we're okay.
I feel good. I think we're in a good.
You feel good? That's a bit extreme, Paul.
No, I do. I do.
Good. That's good.
Yeah.
You can go on.
I can go on, absolutely, which is exactly what Mum had said and exactly what you had said.
Of course.
Yes, so we are. There we are.
And we've got a few days off this week as well, which was kind of planned. I had lots of holiday that I have to take.
Otherwise you lose it.
Well, yeah, I mean, there is the potential of losing it if you leave it till the end of your working year. And my working year is July to June, because I started in July.
Yeah.
It's always the end of the month that you start in, that your holiday period starts from. So, yeah.
Thanks for that fascinating bit of information.
I know, it was fascinating.
Absolutely. Nobody could have gone on without that information.
No, I know. Just like I can't live without Elnet.
That is actually quite a good tagline as well. Can't live without Elnet. Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on with Shaw.
Where's that come from? Is that your northern roots coming through?
So we're at the end of the show. The final segment is always, what have we watched on television this week, Paul?
I think we've just continued watching the things that we have been and finished as well. So we finished Ahsoka. And we continued with RuPaul Drag Race UK.
Yeah.
And we finished Midnight Mass, which was on Netflix.
Yes.
So it was a slightly different ending than I expected, but still good. I think it's a good series. I enjoyed it.
I mean, that's it, isn't it? It's not another one. It's concluded, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's concluded. Yeah. Though something has happened at the end, so there could have been a new one, but I don't think there was, because I hadn't realised there's 2 people in Midnight Mass that were in the Midnight Club. 2 of the kids in this were in the Midnight Club, and I couldn't understand how they were younger in this than they were in the Midnight Club, where they're older slightly, a few years. And then I realised that actually Midnight Mass was released in 2021, so a couple of years ago. So that's why it was mostly filmed. There was a breakup, I would have thought, with the pandemic, something like that. So yeah.
I think it's worth a watch. I mean, it certainly kept me. I mean, it was quite interesting, the end. Although, actually, thinking about the end.
Well, that's what I mean. There could have been a sequel.
Yeah, because that thing.
But there isn't. I don't think there is a sequel.
No.
And the reason that it came to our attention to watch is I was reading an article about things that Stephen King had enjoyed watching, and it was in that list. And I thought, oh well, we'll give that a watch.
Well, it is very Stephen King.
It is. It feels.
I thought you'd said that it was based on a Stephen King.
I thought it. I'd read something.
But then you said it wasn't.
No, I'd read that something that I thought I'd made a note of was based on 2 Stephen King novels.
That's what you said.
Based on, not.
That's what I
inspired
said. Inspired
by. On. Yeah, but I'm not sure we found what that thing was because I didn't make a note of it.
Because actually, it's very in structure. It's very Salem's Lot.
Well, it is Salem's Lot. Yeah, it's Salem's Lot, and isn't it under the dome? You know, where they're actually isolated from the outside world.
No, in terms of the subject matter, it's very Salem's Lot in many ways. But I'm not gonna say what ways it is because well, no, because you may want to watch it, and I don't want to give it away. I don't want to ruin it for people, Paul.
No, you don't. No, we don't want to do that.
So we also watched a programme called The Secret of the Sandwich, which is about the sandwich that you eat, not a witch in the sand.
Yeah. Or Lord Sandwich.
Yeah.
Lord of Sandwich.
Or the Samiad.
Yeah. So it was narrated by Joe Brand, and it was narrated by Joe Brand very much as a straight narrative, not sort of comedy
no.
as Joe regularly does when she does, you know, some narration. It was very straight, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was all about basically the history of the sandwich in the UK.
Yeah, in sandwich shops.
It kind of went from how, you know, basically it was your packed lunch.
Yeah, a sandwich at home or in a packed lunch.
To the rise of the sandwich shops.
And convenience market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting how the technology, in terms of food technology, was developed in order to make the pre-packed sandwich be as fresh for as long as possible. And this was all down to basically the level of protein in bread.
It was, and changing.
And the size of, and the shape of a loaf.
Yeah, changing the protein levels, using Canadian flour, which has got a higher protein, because it grows in cooler regions, so it has a higher protein value than flour that is grown in the UK from wheat, obviously.
And it also explored, you know, the market leaders in pre-packed sandwiches, which of course is Marks and Spencer's, and also at one point Boots.
Boots was the sort of secondary major convenience place, which was really interesting, and then it brought it right up to date with Greggs and a few independents and Pret-a-Manger.
Well, yeah, I mean, talked about the market leaders in sandwich shops in terms of freshly made sandwiches that are made that day. And Pret-a-Manger was the leader, along with a few other companies like Greggs. I mean, I love a Greggs sandwich, but you've never had one.
I've never had a Greggs sandwich, no.
I've never had a Subway.
I don't think I've ever had a Subway.
No, neither have I.
No. What we also met, the lady who invented the prawn mayonnaise sandwich, and that's quite extraordinary when you think about it, but it had never been done before commercially, and she invented it. And then also the other one who, I think she worked for Pret, didn't she? Was it Nellie? And she created so many different sandwiches for Pret-a-Manger. You know, fascinating.
Yeah,
Really.
it was quite an interesting show. What channel was it on, Paul?
I think it was Channel 4.
Channel 4.
You know, very much a Joe Brand channel, Channel 4.
In the UK.
Yeah. Worth a watch, definitely.
Yeah.
And I think it's actually a series. I think we've seen this as a standalone, but I've got a feeling there's the secret life of blah, 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 you know, and this is just one of them.
And in a way, what it did for us was satisfy our need to eat bread all the time.
Yes.
So don't watch if you're feeling hungry.
No, don't.
Or you'll raid the cupboard.
Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah.
So
fun.
I think that was it for TV this week. Not much TV. Didn't watch any TV when we were away.
No.
Too busy doing other things like eating,
Toast.
chatting,
Toast.
cooking,
Toast.
drinking wine.
Toast.
Yeah. So there you go. That's it for this week's Sunday Chat, Paul.
Sunday Chat!
Yes, hurrah! We do hope you've enjoyed it.
It is fascinating though, when you're on holiday, you know, we were, well, the two of us were having our usual cereal with fruit, and I have yogurt and you have milk. And that's our sort of breakfast, that's what we have for breakfast every day virtually. But we also had 2 pieces of toast in addition.
2 pieces?
I think it was all that hiking that was needed. Yeah, I think it was all that, yeah.
There wasn't that much hiking going on.
No, there was. There were quite a few nice walks, but yeah, not a lot of hiking. Yeah.
So thank you for all your support, for following us on all our different platforms, such as Facebook, Planet Vegetaria. That's a Facebook group by Richard and Paul. Richard and Paul since 2017. That's contractual. And also Coffee, as we said before, thank you for your support. And Instagram and Threads as well. Apparently we've got 20 more followers on Threads. Do you do things on Threads, Paul?
Yeah, occasionally.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that's nice. You have something to follow.
Yeah. It's funny, Threads, though, because it sort of it brings other people that you're following on Instagram and Facebook in.
Yes.
So, yeah.
It does, doesn't it?
There we
Anyway, bye for now. Take care, and we'll see you next week. Goodness knows what will be in next week. Probably nothing, unless we get out and about on one of our days off.
I think we might. I mean, I've got quite a full week of work to do, but yeah, we'll be out and about.
Will we?
Yeah.
I hope so.
I think so.
Take care. Toodle pip. Au revoir.
Bye.
Bye. Come again. Watch all the adverts.
I think they're switching off now. Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. We can
Bye.
have another coffee.
Bye. I haven't drunk that one yet.
Oh.